Wake up!
Your creativity. We're not up there, up now. That's live.
Exactly. We have writer, director, producer, father,
Yes.
Devin Hampton. Thank you so much
Yay.
for your time.
Yay. Welcome to
Thank
the
you.
stage.
Yes, thank you so much for your time. Folks, get ready. We're going to talk about his story, how he got to where he is right now. And first of all, just introduce yourself. I went on LinkedIn, I tried to get your bio. I didn't find nothing but your IMDb.
I'm very secretive.
Oh, okay. So share what you want.
Share. I guess if it was a meeting and they asked me to share, like the honest share, right? You in the honest
Hey,
trust
why not?
trust
Yeah.
trust tree they call it. Um, I'm a kid from Philly, from Logan,
Hey.
from North Philly, and I just had these big dreams of not only aspiring to travel outside of Logan, but also to give back,
Mm-hmm.
in a way to give back. And initially it was through the NBA, and
Mm.
that didn't work out.
Okay.
Um, Clearly, in it. So um, I had another plan A that didn't even expect to happen in my life, and that
Mm-hmm.
being in film. And I am well on my way, and it does feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Been at it for a very long time. Started out in music videos before transitioning into to scripted. The
Mm.
transition was not easy. I do think that there's definitely a unfortunate stigma when it comes to your pigment,
Mm.
and so I had to kind of like really through my writing fight through that.
Mm.
The cream does rise to the top, I believe. Um,
Ooh.
so yeah, like just be staying at it and never giving up,
Mm-hmm.
and now get to talk to you.
See, and I did not know that film wasn't even part of your plan. So how did you come into it then?
Yeah, I was actually doing a poetry event um, called The Groove with Tiffany Bacon,
Mm.
and she was my partner. And through this event, I met a lot of good folks in Philly, a lot of artists from Kendrick to Family Soul to music to Jill, who back then was
Mm.
on poetry,
Philly. That's Philly.
um, and definitely Montez, yeah, I mean, uh, and then met John Barber and Tyreek Wallace. Just connecting and
Right, right.
connecting dots and meeting good folks. And I met this beautiful woman at the time. I'm sure she's still beautiful. Hamida Kinj,
Mm-hmm.
and we were talking about an Erica Badu video, and she was a writer, excellent writer for the City Paper and did the music column,
Mm.
and very artistic woman. I was telling her that I didn't like the music video, and
Honesty.
and she told me, well, what do you know? You know what I mean? Like, you're not a real artist like Erica.
Ooh.
How do you? And I was
Challenge.
like, yeah, exactly how I took it, and I take challenges to heart. So I went back home and wrote my version of that video.
Mm.
And one of the people that I had met, a few people that I had met by doing the group was Denko and a young man named Steve the Booth.
The
And
booth.
Steve the Booth, man, and Steve was just amazing. And he had read the treatment and started passing it around. That's how I met Rich Nichols and Jazzy Fat Nasties and stuff like that. They all was reading this treatment that I wrote and was digging it,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like crazy getting meetings off of this treatment.
Wow.
And then I ended up faxing this treatment to Johan Rink,
And
who
your
directed
rank is.
the director, and he directed a bunch of Maxwell videos and stuff like that at the
Mm.
time, and off the first album. And I faxed it to him, my name and number at the bottom, and he read it and he called me.
Are
And
you kidding? That's your story?
yeah, and he was just like, are you a director? And I was like, nah, I was hoping to get a job writing, for you or for a director. And
Mm-hmm.
he said to me at that moment, he was like, if you wrote this, you should be a director. And I was like, yeah, I wrote it. And he was like, all right, well then, how fast can you get to LA?
What?
And I begged my dad for some loot, and was on the next thing smoking. Crashed at my boy Adam McGinnis's house, and just to get up there, and
Right.
was able to walk on set with Johan for the first
Wow.
time, and it's changed my life. Yeah.
Wow. What? We can just
So,
end this interview right now. People can take what you just said and go do something with it. I can take what you just said and just go do something with it. What?
Yeah, true, very true story. And then granted, nothing's easy. You know what I mean? Like Johan's from Sweden at the time. Everything was very sweet. Even half his crew was Swedish. You know what I mean? So I had to really listen in and watch and learn as much as possible. Was the only black person on set. You know what I mean? So dealt with that energy. Um, it it never came from him. Like we're very good friends to this day, very close. And this is now for 20 years.
Wow.
And you know, the people you look up to, it's dope to work with them and then become colleagues and then become rivals. And so now we're getting to that. Now we get to that rival stage. You know what I mean? So
Right.
yeah. So that's kind of we definitely talk trash to each other. So
That
but
is.
granted, he's killing it. I mean, he did Breaking Bad, Chernobyl. Like he's killing it right now. He won every single award you can win as a director. So
Wow.
I got a lot of catching up to do. But
But
yeah,
you got
nah,
to see
I'm right.
that in real time and in real life on
Yeah.
set with him.
Yeah. It was just amazing, and the hours that really go into it. The preparation that goes into it, and the pressure that you put on yourself. And I also too learned from him how to command a set without being an asshole.
That's important.
You know what I'm saying? He and I would be on set just having fun, and so that's all I know. You know what I mean? Like, your preparation, that's the hardest part. By the time you get to being on set, that's fun.
Right.
You've already prepared every single thing that can happen, right? And so, something's gonna happen, but you enjoy the ride. Definitely.
So since you brought up the word prepare, how did you prepare as a writer or as a director, as a producer to be for you said it.
Yeah, this part probably gonna drive you crazy, man.
I'm here for it. I got paper and a pen.
So
Let's do it.
I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. I never went to writing class one. Just never did it.
Right.
I've been writing since I was 9 years old in the back of Michelle Silverstein book. So
shut it down.
I just can write. You know what I mean? I was just writing poetry forever. I used to write on the subway. I just could write. You know what I mean? So really, like my notes would just come from other people in the business. Like, oh, try this. Or, this is too much. Or you overwrit this, or something like that. And but I have this very strong innate thing to be as perfect as possible. And I know there's nothing about perfect in this world. I know that, but that's where I strive, and I put that kind of pressure on myself when I'm writing. So even now, I'm a much better writer than my very first script. And my first script was dope. It was kind of crazy, and looking back at it, because we're actually getting it ready to go out. My very
That's
first
Snap?
And no. My first script was Silky Smooth. It's a action comedy, and and looking back at now, then compared to how I'm writing today, it's like light years ahead.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And it's just the want to be amazing. Like I want to have a staple of my name when people get it. It's like, this is a Devin Hampton script. You know what I mean?
Your own little signature.
It's gonna mean something. It's a Devin Hampton script. So I always wanted that. I want my name to have a real feeling to it, a style to it.
Right.
So,
your own niche.
It's just a drive, man. Johan has a crazy drive, and I have the same thing. It's just this drive to really, really put art out there. But and granted, I like to expand. It could be through laughter. It could be through you know wonder. It could be through suspense. It could be through.
Right.
I'm definitely more expansive in that. But
Hmm.
just art, just something something different. One of my favorite lines from Shel Silverstein was "Throw some paint where there ain't." You know what I mean? So
Creativity.
like, yeah, 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 for sure.
Hmm. And so what you're saying is gold right now because it's
I guess
gold,
so.
like the gold around your neck, brother.
I guess I
Because
mean, but ain't no blueprint. This is hard work. This is I ain't gonna. I ain't have a plan. I ain't have a plan B. Once I got into this, it was just like you know, this is
mhm,
it. You know what I mean? You make it or you die.
you break
And
it.
and
Yeah.
when you got daughters and everything, it's like
Your family.
yeah, man, and I love to have them on set with me too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
So like
hmm.
they're always there. Um, so yeah, man,
Yeah.
it's
And
just
the
just go.
reason the reason what you're saying is gold is because I've never written a script before. And this is the
Mm.
very reason why I wanted to meet with you and to pick your brain because I I don't want to overthink, but I still know that there has to be a standard of excellence, you know. And for you to
Yeah,
say
yeah,
what
yeah,
you for you to say what you just said, it complements who I am as a person because I never read a script, but I've been writing since I was 15. You know, I
yeah,
didn't know
yeah,
journal
yeah,
writing was a thing like that. I just
yeah,
naturally did it.
yeah.
You know, and
It's a gift.
I've been journaling since I was 15 years old. So, and it's not a coincidence that I'm doing a biopic,
Word. I love it.
right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. That's it. That's it.
as
That's
you're
it.
talking, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've already been doing it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, like the only thing I think that I did learn was how to visually write out a treatment for music videos. And the
Mm,
reason I say that that helps me is because you're giving, typically there's no script, right? You're just giving them visual feelings.
mm-hmm,
And so
mm-hmm.
my scripts are very, very descriptive in that because I always say I want people to smell what I smell, right? Not to see
Mm.
it, but smell what I
Smell
smell,
it,
right?
taste it, all five
Yeah,
senses.
yeah. Um, I do still write a treatment of the story first. So
Mm.
and I write that freehand. I
So you
always do
say
it freehand.
treatment. What is treatment?
So just your overall overview of the story. Like it could
Mm.
be 3 pages, 4 pages, 5 pages, just however you feel the story has to go from beginning to end.
Mm-hmm.
So and I call that like my skeleton, like my bones. Like I know what the bones
Mm.
are now.
Like your outline,
And
yeah.
yeah, yeah, and it's I always do that. And I know for some reason I can't type it. It gotta be freehand. So I'm like
Mm-hmm.
I write it freehand, then I'll type it. The same thing because every time I'm kind of like flushing it out better and
Right.
better, and then I go into surgery, and that's the script. You know what I
Surgery.
mean?
But then
Yeah,
I
yeah,
heard psychologically there is a connection when we are literally using our hand and like or in writing.
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man, yeah,
And
it's
another thing
real.
that's crazy when you mentioned the music video, I've directed a music video, and it's actually my most viewed video on my YouTube page. It
Word.
was yeah. So I've always seen scenes in my mind. Like if people
Yeah.
have dreams, but I have scenes as if it's a movie,
Mm,
And so
it's dope.
when it comes to the music video I did, I saw it. I already
Yeah,
saw it. I
yeah,
mine it was more like a timestamp outline. I was like, this is what I want here, this is what I want here. This is literally what I want you guys to do here to give off this
yeah,
certain
yeah,
emotion.
yeah,
So
yeah.
man, you got me hyped. You got me hyped. Because like talking to you, talking to other I talked to Mark last week. I don't know if you've seen that interview.
Word. No, I gotta
And
check it out. Mark's a good dude, man.
yeah, he's
Mark's a good dude.
quality, high quality.
Yeah, Mark's a good
And
dude.
every time I talk to a writer, something else comes, it just something else is birthed or revealed in the journey already. So, man, and we only been talking for what? 14 minutes, right? This is
That's word.
amazing.
That's word. That's word.
Amazing. So, okay, treatment, I got that down. You shoot for excellence. I got that down. And over time,
Yeah,
you just got
yeah.
better because you were taking the advice from people that were mentoring you.
Yeah, I mean, I was fortunate too. I mean, like Silky writing that script got me to meet a lot of people. and I met Stan Lathan.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually, man, was at Dave Chappelle was just doing Radio City Music Hall for the first time,
Mm.
and the Roots were his like band for a couple joints,
Nice.
and so I was there with them backstage, and it was Tariq's wife. I was like, "Yo, Dad, that's Stan Lathan,"
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like Stan Lathan. You know what I mean? Like, oh snap!
Mm-hmm.
And and I had already been working with Vicky Thomas, and who I came on with Silky, and so I was just like, Stan, my name is Dev, working with Vicky Thomas. Oh, okay. And then I was doing the script, whatever. So I sent it to him, and he gave me notes on it. It was just like super dope, and like stuff like that. Like it's
Right.
just you get these amazing veterans in your life to take heed to
Right.
it. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
People that are looking at this right now, I don't know if you, not right now, but he just said something. I hope you didn't miss it. He said he went and introduced himself. That
Yeah.
right there, that's how I met you. Hello.
Yeah, man.
You have to go and introduce and open your mouth and say hello
Yeah,
organically,
yeah,
you know?
definitely that. Yeah, you can't be afraid. Plus, too, I think just at the end of the day, um, if you have that deep rooted belief and your ability, then that propels you because
Mm,
there's nobody going to hand it to you,
period.
and most times you're going to get told no, right? Or this ain't for us, or whatever it may be. You mostly hear that. So
Hmm.
you got to have that personal belief and that personal drive because
Right.
you don't believe it, nobody can believe it. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
hear that.
yeah,
Because at the end of the day, you're the only one with that vision. And you might be the only one
yeah,
with that
yeah,
vision for decades until another generation comes along, you know?
yeah. And then also too, like um, if you want it to be your mainstay career, then you got to fight for it.
Hmm.
And you know what I'm saying? So it's like and
Right.
you got to scratch and claw and
Hmm. Hmm.
get knocked down 18 times, get back up 19. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got really claw for it. So I
Hmm.
think that if you have that mentality and that hustle mentality, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna stay at this
Right.
be on time for meetings, all those little things. It all
Hmm.
matters.
Right. So what do you think is the skill most important or is that drive most important? What contributes to the success in the film industry?
I would say, I mean, just industry overall,
Mm.
probably the drive is more skill.
Mm.
For me, it's 50-50
Okay.
personally. You know what I mean? Because one feeds the other. For me personally.
Mm.
But as far as
Mm.
industry standards, like there's a lot of people that I'm not trying to take this in a negative way. But there's a lot of people that
Right,
got
right.
some gigs out here. They ain't that
We see
talented.
them. We see
You know what I'm
them.
saying?
We're
They
like,
ain't that
how?
talented. Yeah, like it ain't like that. So
Hmm.
because you can tell the people that really are right. It stands
Right.
out.
Hmm.
Um, there's definitely folks that have done a recycle game. Oh, I'm gonna write something like that. I'm gonna write
Right.
something like this. That
Hmm.
was great. I'm gonna write something like that. And it's just like, where's your creative? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, what's
What's
dope
your
with you?
creative?
So, and one of the challenges was Snap was to be in this like really like dark place because
Mm.
Snap's so dark, but create six completely different stories um, that would jump off the page. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? So
Actually,
like,
before you get even any deeper than that, let
okay,
me tell them
all right,
that Snap is it's a series that just got picked
yeah.
up by AMC Plus. So this is a big deal that he's talking about right now. It's already picked up
Well,
on a network. Proceed,
um,
brother.
uh, much love to all black. Um, we AMC Plus, BBC America, I believe that's also in there,
Hmm.
and Swirl. production company out of Atlanta, and everybody involved. You know,
Mhm.
Angelica, Mark, Anton, Eric, SJ. You know what I mean? Big shout out to Angela White as well, and
Mhm.
Trey Kirby, and my man Jamal,
Hey,
Mother effing
everyone.
McNeil. You know what
We
I'm
love
saying?
you. Shout
Like,
out. Much
yeah,
love.
Jamal McNeil, man. But yeah, it's just we Mark, Anton, and Angelica, and myself, and Eric and Jamal McNeil. Um, we would chop it up so heavy. We had so many debates and going
Mhm.
back and forth, and like really like debate. And
Mhm.
the whole thing was just like, even if I had an idea, like I can't say too much, obviously, about because it's
Right.
coming out this year. But
Right.
even if I had an idea about a certain episode, the topics were so like minefields in
Mm.
today's world because of how you go about it, and like with being canceled by one group or another, or
Mm.
being accepted by
Mhm.
another group or another. Like it's
Marginalized.
man.
All
So
that.
we try to really navigate those scary waters,
Mm.
and it was fun. It was fun because it's also terrifying. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
but
Right.
we want to like give voice to the voiceless, and speak. We definitely, Eric and I definitely always talked about um, the underdog.
Mm.
You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So
Yes.
and like and so yeah, I wish I could say more because it's almost like remember when the first Matrix came out and no one really knew
Mhm.
what it was. It was just the Matrix has you. That's a
Right.
cartoon,
Right. Everybody's like,
right?
what?
What? And then you go see it, you're like, oh,
Mind
right,
blown.
right. So kind of like the same thing with snaps. I can't get into too much, unfortunately, but
Which I
um,
understand. So when it comes to the concept, were you? Because I've seen the screening, I was there.
yeah,
So
yeah. So
the
the pilot,
inspiration behind it, was it just what the events were going on at the time, or you're kind of including your life into some of those stories, or what's the influence of
um,
Snap?
I mean, nah. So the one thing about it is myself and Eric and Mark and Anton and Angelica, and Jamal and McNeil, we're all very empathetic people,
Mm,
very empathetic, and led by a Pisces myself is
mhm.
beyond empathetic. Sometimes I got not watch the news, like
Yeah,
so,
yeah, yeah. You know,
uh,
emotionally involved.
yeah, right. So putting ourselves in other people's shoes, like legit, and
Mm,
not putting us, and not just in the shoes, but actually walking a couple miles.
right,
You know what I
right.
mean? So that's sort of like the base jump off, and
Mm,
so and then also too, talking about certain things that might be political or might be controversial or whatever it may be, right?
mhm.
But it's again giving that voice to the underdog, to the voiceless.
Right, right.
It's a
Love
book.
it. So your journey, what I really want to get out of this interview, you've made it from the concept process to a network. So how long was it to write the script, to get it approved, to get a green light and say, okay, it's time to go pitch? How long was
All
that
right,
process?
so we did it differently. So just so you
Oh,
know,
okay.
yeah, um, I wrote Snap independently with Eric,
Okay.
and um, Eric is signed to Primary Wave.
Eric Benet, he's referring to.
Eric, yeah, my fault. Yeah, Eric Benet. And so Primary Wave started a film division. Like it's
Mm,
a new venture,
nice.
and they have a lot of stuff going on. They actually deal with oh man, I'll see the names later. My brain is like, but many event.
Right, right.
So so they actually funded the pilot along with myself too. Remember, yeah, for some
Okay.
reason. So, but yeah, so we shot the pilot independently, Super small crew up in the mountains, like just really made it happen.
Right.
So
I remember you
um,
saying that.
yeah. So we shot it independently, and then um, did our, really it was me. I paid for the screening, like something like that, to get the screenings done, and then
Mm.
um, after that, bounced the pilot around. It got to really only we shopped at one place, and then they picked it up
They picked it
right
up.
away, and then, and then they they just asked, of course,
Oh. No, did it freeze?
what else, what is this, right? Like, what is this? So yeah, it
Right.
takes snaps and anthology. So yeah, so we had a pitch meeting. I came up with the rest of the season real quick, and I made a deck
Mm.
with my homie Zosh in
You said
Atlanta,
it
Josh
real
Rage.
quick.
Yeah, man, it's came with the season, and I didn't write the whole scripts out, but I knew the concepts. Like I wrote out treatments for every single joint, and
Right.
then
Right.
put a dope deck together. Um, Me and Eric practiced, just me and him, on like Zoom. You know what I mean? Like rehearsing the pitch, and we gave each other notes. You know what I'm saying? Like say this here, or this, you know what I mean? Like we really just pushed each
Right.
other to make sure we were prepared for that, and then it got bought in the meeting.
Wow.
So
Love it.
so it was under a year. You know what I mean? We shot it, sold it the same year.
Right. So pilot, because I know Mark mentioned that you can bring a script to a pitch meeting, or you can bring a pilot. And he said bring a pilot or a web something that they can actually see the concept. Their chances of getting picked up
Proof
is
of proof
way
of concept.
greater.
Proof of
Yeah.
concept. We follow the same model again with this show that's coming out of post literally right now called Who's Todd,
Hmm.
and it's more of a dark comedy, and which is really dope, and literally getting the final touches on sound design right now as we speak. So, and there'll be, even hopefully people just dig it, and that's more. It's still a single camera.
Single camera? Are you serious?
Yeah, everything I do is single camera. Yeah,
What?
snap a single camera.
Shut it down.
Yeah,
Okay. One
yeah,
POV, huh? Let's
yeah.
go.
That's single camera, man. I
Love
always
that.
been, always believed in lighting one really good lens as opposed to having, you know what I
Three
mean.
different
That's
angles.
yeah. That's just me.
Devin, I want
Um,
to stop you through this virtual meeting. You go ahead then. You do it.
uh,
I'm
yeah.
hyped. Oh my goodness. So what was the meeting like? Was it like an elevator pitch, or let's bring them some cookies and like milk and have them comfortable? Let's bring them like how was the atmosphere in that when you had to pitch?
The actual pitch it was a full pitch. It was the whole season. It was a
Mm,
full pitch. It was like I got 45 minutes,
okay.
and the executive was actually driving to the airport via Zoom, and
Okay.
and yeah, and literally just like pulled his car to the side. It was like, I'm in. Let's go. Let's go.
From never writing ever to
Yeah.
just writing since you're a young chap to just an executive pulling over on the side of the road.
Well, I mean,
Okay,
yeah, I mean, definitely just put the time in between,
right.
those years of you know, writing different scripts, and I wrote a lot of comedy sketches. That we
Mm,
shot a bunch of those, and
yeah.
um, like I said, just every single time, man. Before I sit down and start writing the script, I go through a lot. Like I can't get into all
When you say
that
your
mental
thinking
process
process,
on this.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's tough. It's tough. It takes a lot out of me. It takes a lot of me. So
Even though I can't even compare myself to you, but like I said, when I visualize, I have scenes, and so a couple of scenes that I've already seen in my mind, I was drained from those. And
yeah.
I'm like, I'm like, what?
Hey.
I haven't even started yet, and I'm like over here, tears about to fall out my eye. I'm like, oh my god. So I can't imagine you just pushing out 6 episodes.
Yeah, man. I mean, the hardest thing I wrote to this day, and I was probably argue my best script is the pilot episode for Sanctuary.
That was
And,
deep. It was deep.
like Sanctuary is something that I still hold deep in my heart, and
Hmm.
look to hopefully get that to HBO or Stars or Showtime or
Right.
Apple or you know what I mean. But
Right.
uh,
It should
Sanctuary is
because
like
it's so relative.
I
It's
appreciate that.
now.
I appreciate that, man. I mean, it's just Sanctuary is definitely this is so it's so regarding our human society.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like not as Americans, not as black folks, not as
Hmm.
Latinos, not as white folks, not as Italians, Irish, whatever. Like at the end of the day, the
Oh,
sanctuary,
same.
it just boils down to human. You know what I mean?
Humanity.
It's like, yeah, and that's the full base approach on that. And
Hmm.
like, just when you dig into it, we're a bunch of humans that argue over imaginary lines. You know what
Imagine,
I'm saying? It's
bruh.
just like, so, um,
Imaginary. That was the best
yeah,
word you can literally
that's
use.
it. Yeah, this is, so like, um, and I understand that certain things are structured, certain um, cultures are different as they should be because
Right.
that's how
Right.
you get diversity, right?
That's the beauty
Different,
of it.
diverse, right? Like that's
Mhm.
what makes it an amazing world to be in. Um, However, fear drives so much of American society, which
Mhm.
is really messed up if that's the case. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
so I wish that wasn't the case.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know what I mean? I wish that everybody didn't feel like they have to have a gun. Because it
Right.
really does. It almost is to the point where if you don't have a gun, you don't want to ask out. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
like, I wish that wasn't the case. I wish it was the opposite. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, so,
It's funny because
but
in Ghana, guns are not a thing in Ghana, and I'm over there like I need to get a gun just in case, you know. But
yeah,
some
yeah,
cultures just do not operate like that.
yeah, it's real. I mean, so yeah, it's interesting again, just to, like I said, just to have the opportunity to tell again, being empathetic, tell other folks' stories. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so John Michael Hill, I think, is just one of the best actors in this world. So
He was at the screening, right?
John didn't make the
Oh, he
screening,
didn't make
couldn't
the
make it.
screening. Okay.
Nah, he was in New York at the time doing the play. Um, but I look forward, to, like I said, to doing Sanctuary and doing it with John. And, yeah, man.
So you, what else do
That's
you
the
have?
one. That's the one.
What else do you have in the pipeline? So there's Snap, AMC picked up, AMC Plus.
Yeah, Snap, Who's Todd, which is, what I mean, we'll get that, shout out to my amazing agent, Cindy.
Hmm.
Um, so Who's Todd, and then um, Soul of the City, which is also about to come out right now as well, too. We're pushing that out right now. And
Hmm.
that's a music documentary, which is really dope. Doing it with my man Dre and my
Hmm.
man Bobby P. And then let's see, Soda City, Snap, Who's Todd, Silky, all of which are
You wrote,
literally in development and moving right now as we speak.
and
And
you
then,
wrote them all.
okay, yeah. And then I'm also, as far as like Silky goes, just getting that script rated and get up and going as well. So it's kind of like it's a lot of juggling at the moment.
Right,
Um,
right.
but it feels great because I'm working with people that I love
Hmm.
and so that helps. You know what I'm saying?
This
And
is
to get creative.
this is so inspiring because you have irons in the fire now. You know, it's not like I used to or I'm going to. It's like no, you're doing it right
Oh
now.
nah, man, yeah, I ain't messing around. I ain't messing around. I realized having one job going will stress you out. You know what I mean?
True.
So yeah, like I um, I definitely can't just do just the one. It's too much. This, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
It's just
right.
like
There are
gotta be
multiple
able to.
streams.
Yeah. Like, as soon as
Yeah.
I got the phone, I mean, it's not the phone. Sorry. So finish the interview, I gotta get some work done on Soul of the City real quick.
Right,
Disaster
right.
race. So before it goes out, but you know what I'm
Right,
saying? So
right.
I gotta do that, and then
Mm,
I'll also be going over some stuff with Snap. Yeah, I mean, as we get ready we start filming in a couple of weeks. So
awesome.
yeah, just
Well,
that.
I'm not
Yeah.
going to take too much more of your time. I just have like two more questions left. One question
All right.
for all the newbies like myself getting into the game. What would be the first thing you recommend for us to do when it comes to writing our script?
Make sure you flush it out.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Make sure you have a really solid treatment when you're writing the script. You know what I mean? Just have the story fleshed out. Like
Hmm.
notice you have a good story, because that means a lot. You know what I mean? And you gotta feel it. It's a really good story. And it's a
Right.
story that people will either be taken back by through laughter, through wonder, through excitement, through
Hmm.
what I mean, like education, like oh, I didn't know
Right.
that, or whatever that may be. Like
A
make
key
sure, make sure
emotion.
Yeah, make sure you got a story that has that. And if you got a story that has more than one key emotion,
Yeah.
great,
Yeah.
right? You got a story that hit more than more. You know what I mean? Like the more emotions in there, the better.
The
So
better.
definitely, yeah, definitely that.
Hmm.
You want to make sure that you love it, because unless you got paid, 150 grand to write something for somebody else, you know what I mean? Like it's for
Hmm.
you, and you gonna put all that time in. Make sure you love it.
Right.
You gotta love it
Hmm.
a lot. Not even a little bit, a lot. You
It
gotta
got to
love
be
it.
worth your time, you know?
Yeah, yeah. You gotta love it. I mean, there's something that I really do love. It's not in development yet, but it's close. Like
Hmm.
one of the things that off the queue, I'll bring it right in. And unfortunately, can't talk about that one yet either. But I love it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like so, like I love sanctuary. I love Silky.
Hmm.
I love Soul and Sleep. I love them.
Right.
There's certain episodes in Snap, which I can say the name right now, the
Hmm.
episodes, but man, he's talking about like truth. I can't even. We'll
You
talk about
can.
that when it comes out. Yeah,
Okay.
we'll do another interview when it comes out.
Right,
But
right.
I mean,
Look.
like, yeah, I mean, I put my soul into that shit. I put shit. So
Mm.
you gotta love what you do. Make sure you love it. And again, Sanctuary, well, it won at Series Fest. It won the Cass Matthews Award for Best Dramatic and Most
Hmm.
Impactful Series, which is dope. So, yeah,
Love
Sanctuary
it.
for sure. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
where can people find you, or do you want to be found?
I mean, uh, find me Instagram.
Instagram. Okay.
Yeah, Devin. I think it's Devin.
Director Devin Hampton.
Derek, I'm my bad. Yeah, director Devin Hampton.
I know your IG.
Yeah, right. Director Devin Hampton. And yeah, man, hit me. I actually do respond to DMs if as soon as
Hmm.
I can. Not all the time. I'm actually not on there all the time. I don't even know where that other phone is right now. But when I do get on there, I do respond and say
Awesome.
hi to folks or people that reach out. I do.
Right. Well, director Devin Hampton, thank you so much for your time. This was awesome.
Man, nah, thank you, Les. You always been dope. We always chop it up anyway. So just
Right,
a dope
right.
human, the dope, dope,
Yes.
dope, dope, creative human. So the
Hmm.
the honor is definitely mine for sure.
What's his deal? I don't remember him preaching here in town.
Yeah, I don't know. Kind of just showed up one day.
He's actually getting shit done, and he's gonna unleash us. We're the wolves, and he's letting us loose.
Well, you have to do what you gotta do.
Officers, can I help you with something?
It's eating me up inside.
Hey, I told you this fucker was for real, didn't I?
Fucking necessary. It is fucking necessary.
He's acting on it. He's a man of his word. Phil, you should be excited right now. This is it, man. This is the shit we've been talking about.
getting. It's either them or us.
How are you stressed about this decision?
Gloves are off now, bro.
Were you simply doing what's right for your family?
Yeah, okay. But what about theirs?